We're all rats in a trap, y'all. We gotta stop repeating the same mistakes we watching other people make. You ever heard of the term rat brained? That's all of us. Now let me explain, okay? We about to go deep, so buckle up and bite down. Okay? If you happen to have a rat or mouse infestation in your home, then all you need is one trap that's good enough and you'll catch every single mouse in the house. Okay? This is because rats don't have the critical thinking gene. Okay? They can't process reality. They cannot comprehend cause and effect. Okay? So when they watch their homie chase that cheese and get smoked because of it, they genuinely cannot evaluate the situation and determine that they shouldn't go after the next piece of cheese that they see. So all you got to do is replace that piece of cheese over and over again to catch every single one of them. Okay? Well, believe it or not, guys, you've allowed the enemy to brainwash you and replace so many parts of your mind that they are now experimenting on rats to learn how to control humans. How the hell did we even allow that to be possible? Okay, think about how much bigger your brain is than a rat's. A rat's brain is no bigger than a few green peas put together, while a human brain is closer to the size of a cantaloupe. How are we even comparable to rats? Okay? That's a problem. It's gotten so bad that y'all are fully aware and even admit to it without even knowing it. I know y'all done heard several iterations of your favorite rapper claim that they chasing the G's instead of a hoe. Like, come on, y'all. Is that not literally identical to what the rats do? Process it a little bit deeper and you realize that cheese isn't naturally occurring. We created that by spoiling milk on purpose and adding a bunch of stuff to it. It's man-made. Now, what is this cheese your favorite rapper talking about? It's money. Money ain't naturally occurring either, is it? We created that too, didn't we? And it just so happens that we just as infatuated with the money as rats are with the cheese. Okay, we'll chase the money till we die doing so, just like the rats do. All you gotta do is dangle some money in front of us and we'll surrender control immediately. With men, it's chase the cheese instead of a hoe, and with a female, it's find a man that got the cheese. Okay, that's just the tip of the iceberg though. Let's go a little bit deeper. Okay, as we grow up, our parents tell us to stay away from boys and girls. No girlfriends, no boyfriends. They tell us to stay single as long as we can. We don't listen though. We watching women get beat up by their boyfriends and even killed sometimes. We watching people get cheated on in the most vile way possible. We watching bad people take advantage of good people. We watching men get their lives ruined by child support and bitter baby moms. We see that rape has become more ampant than true love nowadays. Okay? But we still not gonna listen to our parents when they tell us to stay single and stay away from these men and until you find the one. We just gonna keep repeating the same mistakes we watching everyone else destroy themselves with? Or how about the kids? How many missing children's reports do we gotta see before we stop letting our kids play outside by themselves? How many of these kids' dead bodies do we gotta find floating around in lakes and rivers before we start protecting them properly? Okay? What about this Uber thing? How many people have to get sexually assaulted, kidnapped, or even killed by these Uber drivers before y'all stop taking Uber? Like, come on, what about the cops? How many of our people do we gotta watch die to the hands of law enforcement before we actually start doing something about it? We ain't gotta kill or hurt them, but posting a bunch of videos on social media and crying about it obviously ain't doing nothing, is it? Now that we've introduced the concept and gotten a few specifics out the way, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Because a lot of y'all ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, but it's time for you to face the truth. Okay? Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream. A very valid one at that. However, if you did your research, then you know he was an industry plant. Which don't mean he was a bad person. It means that he was being controlled and manipulated by the invisible hand that runs the world. Okay. Now, since y'all want to act like y'all can't comprehend cause and effect, let me break down to you the cause and effect Martin had on our people. Okay. Martin went up and gave a speech time and time again, empowering our people in ways that we needed. Okay. We love him for that. We needed that. We heard him and we listened. But do you know who else heard him and listened as well? The ops. The very people that ran the country he was trying to change and all of their supporters. Which means quite literally, whether or not he intended to, meant to, or wanted to, he was telling the ops exactly what we were going to do. This is spiritual warfare. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but the most powerful weapon in war is intel. With enough intel on the enemy, their entire plan crumbles. Okay, what do you think Dr. King was doing every time he showed up on that TV screen? You think we were the only ones listening? Okay, you think we were the only ones taking notes? He was accidentally giving the enemy intel. He even allowed the enemies themselves to interview him and gave them details about their plan. And what did that lead to? Didn't he get assassinated? How many other OGs followed in his footsteps? How many of them survived? Okay, y'all need to pay attention. Gil Scott Heron said it best. The revolution will not be televised. Okay? It's gotten to a point where it cannot be televised without the enemy showing up to assassinate the leader of the revolution. Okay? If you pay enough attention, then you know that television is telling a vision. If we tell the ops our vision, why would they ever let us see it through? Why would they ever let it come to fruition? Okay? We need to pay attention to the visions that are being told. Okay? Here's an example. Have y'all seen the American Society of Magical Negroes? Okay? If you have, then you notice that they were as secretive as they could possibly be. Everything that they did was in secret. They did their best to make sure that nobody even knew they existed. Okay? They made sure that nobody knew the revolution they were trying to cause. Okay? So what the hell is we doing? How many of our leaders do we have to lose for us to learn something? How many times we gonna inform the ops of the plan? When are we gonna stop televising the revolution? When are we gonna start protecting the ones that do so we ain't gotta keep losing them? How long are we gonna keep falling for the same tricks that we watched kill our ancestors? Okay? How long are we gonna fall into the same trap that we just watched someone else fall into? How long are we gonna keep finding excuses to remain divided while knowing that if we all united, we would take over the world? How much pain and suffering do we have to endure before we finally decide that enough is enough? Michael Jackson started with the man in the mirror, okay? If not you, then who? If not now, then when? Okay, I write music and I plant seeds in y'all's minds, and there's a quote. I said, do not waste a lifetime trying to take it slow, get it done, and do it with control. Do not think the right time shows up on its own. You need to go fight alone. Okay, it's okay to take your time. Patience is key, but it's not okay to let a whole lifetime go by in the name of taking your time. Okay, you must create and manifest the right time through consistent efforts. You must fight for the right time to show itself. And most importantly, you must find it within yourself to fight. You cannot need someone else's influence to get done what needs to be done. You cannot keep forcing people to televise the revolution in order for you to join it. Okay? Be the change you want to see. Okay? Be the change you want to see. If it's easy, it ain't worth it. And if it's worth it, then it's hard. Okay? We're all in this together, y'all. The revolution is now, and it will not be televised. I love y'all. I really hope this helps. Learn to Tiger the Third. Over and out.